Okay. There is one more here. Suggestions. Videos can be included. Field experience of few days would be more helpful to see how many CBPR methods are using in the field. The team will conduct the session in the afternoon. So instead of morning sessions, afternoon sessions will be more conducive. Okay. Any other suggestion? Okay, there are a couple of more here. I don't know. If the lecture will be organized. Okay. So if the lecture will be organized after the office hour, it will be better for active participation. The course gave me a broad knowledge on CBPR approach. The best part is the reading material and assignments. Thank you. The CBPR approaches I like the most. All the materials are well designed. So thank you so much. Okay, so thank you so much. I will keep this on. You can keep on contributing. Let me invite Mr. Vishal Dewan, one of the faculty members from NIRE, and the co-coordinator of this course, to reflect on what you have just heard from the participants, both in terms of what have been helpful and how this could be even more helpful. Um, and if you want to share any feedback, Vishalji, that would be helpful.
So good morning, everyone. I think we have received many suggestions, and also there are many points which were liked by the participants. So we were also looking forward for more critical comments from participants, because this was our first course, and initially we wanted to have this course in offline mode, but due to situation we have to change this the pattern. So there were some issues, but the most important thing is that this was the first course between Priya and NIRE, and I think as a team we were able to manage the things well, and for later session or for other courses we will surely improve from our side. Also the experience what we had, and I was discussing with other faculty members also, the group discussions were quite good, and also the participants were able to communicate their thoughts. Though what we feel that in some of the group discussions these participants were not present that time due to different reasons. So we expect that there can be more participations. And also from NIRE faculty side, I think most of our faculty are young, and they also had good experience with this type, and I think they are more confident to deliver course in future. But I am still looking for some critical points from the participant side so we can improve further. And I would also like to thank organizers and Dr. Krishnan and our director for able guidance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishalji. Let me now invite Dr. Tiwari. Dr. Tiwari, you have heard and saw the kind of feedback that we have received from the participants. So what are your thoughts?
Okay, good morning all. Thank you, Dr. Kaustup, respected Professor Krishnan and Professor Tandon, and all the participants. It is really heartening to have good feedback from the participants, but then having said that, we should be more paying attention to the things which has not worked, as already mentioned by Professor Krishnan. But then I want to say that the choice of holding this course online was because of compulsion, not because of choice, because the conditions were not such that we can hold it face to face. But as I said in the inauguration also, that we have that plan of holding this in a longer version and in physical form, as suggested by some of the participants also, that it would have been better that if group discussions or physical discussion and physical visiting the community would have been a better way. But yes, it was first collaborative effort between Priya and Nire, and initially we were very much nervous that how it will work, and particularly we were again new to this Moodle platform. But with the efforts from all the participants as well as organizers from both Nire and Priya side, we could do fairly well. But yes, because it is one first course, so there are lot many things which can be improved, and the course can be made more crispy, more deliverable, so that there can be better interaction. One point which was slightly disheartening was that when we had the discussion forums, the participation from the participants in discussion forum was very much limited, and even during the interaction session while making the proposal, I personally sat in one or two group and found that the participation was very minimal. So unless until participant take part in all these things, we will not be able to learn which method is working or which part is not working, and that's somewhere or other hampers us from further improvement. So my sincere request to all the participants in future, if we go for the online courses, that participants should participate wholeheartedly. And it is not always praising the course, more critical appraisal will be useful for improving such course. So yes, it was a wonderful experience for me and my team, and they are encouraged that definitely, if possible, from the next year, we may have two batches, that one online batch, and then if conditions normalizes, then the physical batch also. So looking forward for continuation of this course in the future years, so that the participants are benefited, and because it is a very important tool when, and particularly when we think it from the application in environmental health or occupational health or any preventive health strategy. So with this, I think it was a wonderful experience, and looking forward for a more better and best experience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tiwari, for those suggestions, and also being a bit self-critical, and that's the art of learning, I guess. Both, I mean, we have a kind of mutual accountability. The participants, through their participation, would sort of encourage us to engage more, but our engagement with the participants should also have been better. Let me invite Dr. Tandon, Dr. Rajesh Tandon.
Thank you, Kaustav. Wonderful to see all of you. And, it's amazing we have reached the valedictory part of the course. Where, sometimes it takes a long time to conceive, to collaborate, to plan, design, prepare materials, and it finishes, boom. It's like preparing a big feast. And you go and source material and you cook and you clean and but then food is consumed very quickly. So thank you all for this, I think, committing to participate in a new course. You have taken the risk as participants to join this course. And I know that many of you did not sit through or listen through, even though we had so many registrations. Even today, many have not signed up. But I want to focus on those who have sat through, listened, and continued to engage. And I must say that in addition to the welcome session and today's session, I had 2 full Zoom sessions, and I enjoyed interaction with those of you who are in the platform. And I want to find a way that Neeraj and Priya support you in implementing the design of the research project that you have taken. You can be the champions, and you can be the next stage of trainers in this methodology on environmental health research. So in order for you to get there, you will need to take practical experience of doing actual research projects on the ground. And many of you have designed very good ones. We had a great conversation. So I would like to, encourage you, despite all the constraints. You have a full-time job, pandemic is still going on. Some of you are full-time doctoral students, but go ahead, implement it, give yourself a time bound. And we are ready to come back and have a conversation individually and in small groups with those of you who take your research project to the field, because that way you will learn more, and your commitment to use of this approach, this methodology, will also deepen. And then we can count on you in future to propagate this methodology with younger researchers and younger scholars in your own jurisdictions, in your own locations, in your own languages. So, at least 15, 16 of you, I interacted on both the Zoom sessions for module 3 and module 4, module 2 and module 4. And it was a very, very stimulating interaction. And I think, you all of you may have been teachers or trainers or facilitators yourself. I know Professor Tiwari and Professor Vishal and Dr. Anand Krishnan continue to play that role. But for us, it is the excitement of the students as learners which motivates us to carry forward our work. We can also complete the assignment and tick mark and say, oh, job done. But that's not what we are here for. We are here to build a field. And you, as a pioneering batch, even 15 of you, I think, is a great cohort. And as Professor Tiwari has said, let us hope there is an opportunity to have a face-to-face. I think if you complete your field research in a fixed time, let's say over the next 3 months or so, so maybe in January or so, we could think of January, February, something, March, whenever, think of bringing all of you together who complete the field research and have a conversation. Combine it with a conference, national conference. I remember Dr. Anand Krishnan given this idea last year in 2019 also. So we, it's great to have 15, 17 of you engaging with it and doing so well. So I'm delighted. Maybe others who signed up for their personal reasons, official reasons, didn't find time. Maybe they realized they signed up at the wrong course, or maybe they realized, well, others are signing up, let me also sign up. It happens. But those of you who have stayed with it and engaged with it, you are really helping build the field of community-based participatory research in environmental health in India. And that field will be built on the practical research that each of you will do in the coming period. And you will be germinating seeds of that field, which hopefully in 5 to 10 years will begin to show results in improved environmental health in this country. So thank you very much. I had no doubt about the ease and facility with which we will collaborate with colleagues in NIRE under Professor Tiwari's leadership. I recall beautifully his interaction in the PRIA conference in February 2018. And he was, very few people realized he was director of a prestigious ICMR institute because he interacted as a learner, as a participant. And with that leadership, I had no doubt that collaboration with Priya will be easy. And it has worked out to be so. And we look forward to strengthening this so that together we can help build a field of community-based participatory research in a wide range of environmental health issues in order to make an impact in improving environmental, occupational, and public health in this country, which, as the pandemic has shown, requires a lot of effort from all of us. So thank you very much, and wonderful. And I'm looking forward to an opportunity to continue engagement with NIRE colleagues in many ways, not just in repeating the course, but in other ways as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tandon, for those wonderful words of collaboration and interaction. I would also like to thank all the participants for their frank feedback on the course. You have been part of this history, and during the inaugural session and during the entire course, many a times we have shared how this course was conceptualized and then written, and all the case studies were accumulated. They were sort of rigorously selected, and then the course was a reality. And then it was offered, and you became part of this history of creating the first ever course on community-based participatory research in environmental health. I think both Dr. Tiwari and Dr. Tandon have emphasized the beauty of co-learning, in a sense that we learn from each other. And while working with the NIRE colleagues, this has been a wonderful learning opportunity for all of us, who got involved in preparing this course. And thank you, Dr. Tiwari, for generously offering your support and Professor Krishnan's support and Dr. Tandon's support to make this happen. But it only sort of fructified when the course was launched and we got 39 participants who as Dr. Tandon said, took the risk of going through the first ever sort of course on CBPR in environmental health. So thank you for taking that risk. The feedback that you have given to include more case studies, trying to find out opportunities to make it more face-to-face or a combination of online and face-to-face. And we could sort of do it if the situation improves and when things can be slightly normal and safe. I think Dr. Tandon's idea that some of the proposals which look to be promising must sort of be supported, or we need to find a way to support how those proposals can be taken forward, actually implemented and practiced on the ground. So maybe at a later stage we can have that conversation. But one thing that I must say that it's almost like the same equation. It's a demand and supply. If we receive more demands, learning demands from you, we are accountable to respond to those demands, and vice versa. So I would sort of encourage you to keep in touch with all the faculty members and the relationship that we have established over the last 4 weeks. So we'll take all your feedback into consideration, and thank you for generously giving those feedback. Once again, thank you, Dr. Tiwari. Thank you, Dr. Tandon. Let me invite Professor Anand Krishnan, who is a professor at the Center for Community Medicine in All India Institute of Medical Science. Professor Krishnan, please.
Thank you, Kaustav. I'm happy to be here on this. In fact, I was just wondering, 3 to 4 years back, I neither knew Nire nor was I very much aware of Priya, right? And in 3 to 4 years, we have gone so ahead and started working together and developing courses together. So it is really wonderful to see how our paths have merged and we have come out with such wonderful activities. And I'm happy to be at least part of this process. But I would start with apologizing. Frankly, except for in the inaugural session and in the valedictory session, I was absent throughout. I don't think that is a correct thing. That's a good thing that happened. I need to correct that in the subsequent versions of this course. I need to be more actively engaged in this, not just be a speaker in the inaugural and valedictory session. So I'm requesting both Nire and Kaustav to push me more in the next course. Don't hesitate to push me more and for a more active involvement. Right? If you leave it to me, I will have too many things to do and it will get lost. So I'm putting the onus on you to push me more to get involved in it. Maybe take a session, or at least we'll be happy to be part of group discussions and those kind of things. It will not be a delivery of a lecture, but definitely would be when the proposals are discussed and those kind of a thing. I would be very happy to be there. And so that's and I think we have already discussed the various feedbacks which have come. And I think they all are well taken, and I'm sure the team would look at it and review their program based on this feedback and have an improved version in the next one. I will be in Nire Bhopal actually in first week of October as a part of their scientific advisory committee, and I will definitely talk to the people in Nire, and maybe at some point of time, 3 of us again should review what has happened and see how we take up the next version of this course. But definitely it is going to be in a hybrid mode and is originally planned initially online. But I think what the point it was being made was also that this online could be purely you could just send them a link and they do it at their own convenience. It need not be in morning, afternoon. I think it can be done in a way that part is at the convenience of the participant. They can do it at night or at whatever time. Whereas the physical part is where their time would be actually required. The rest could be done at their convenience. And some discussions we should hold so that it occurs at a convenient time. But otherwise, we should allow more flexibility. This was largely to me more for orienting you to the concept of CBPR. I don't think we have really given you skills or increase your capacity to do CBPR. And I think that would require much more effort on all our part. And that's what we should be doing it. Orientation is just the first step. That's not enough. Therefore, in the next versions, hopefully, which will be longer version and more active and physical meetings, we would aim to give you a more field experience of going to the community, interacting with them and those kind of things. So I hope the next one will also build capacity. So what next? The next for our group is very clear. We should be looking at incorporating all your suggestions, making it more interactive, coming up with a better version of this workshop in the coming. We also need to think, should it be annual? Obviously, it depends on the amount of investment in running the course, not in developing the course, because could we do 2 courses a year, 3 courses a year? Again, as somebody said, it's a supply and demand issue. If you have demand, we would try to do more. At this stage, we are not even sure that there is a demand. It is just something that we have started. We are hoping that this will initiate a series of activities which will also increase demand for these kind of activities. And then obviously we'll step in to fulfill that demand by providing more such courses. But what do participants need to do next? Are you planning to go back and be happy? Okay, I have learned something. Or I think you all should read more, learn more on this kind of thing. As I said, this is just an orientation. Orientation is just sort of, we have made you think that community participation is essential if you have to address environmental issues, and how do we go about doing. But you need to read more about it, maybe more literature. We all are professionals, and one of the characteristics of any professional is that they learn themselves. They don't need to be taught. If I want to learn something, I will find ways to learn it. I'm not dependent on a teacher to learn. There are enough materials in the web, in this world. If a person who is interested to learn will always find ways to learn. So I'm urging all of you, and obviously we can also be your resource persons as a part of learning. You are free to contact me, you're free to contact Nire, you're free to contact Priya to learn more. But do make an attempt to learn more and not stop learning on this aspect at the end of this workshop. And also, at least we all live in community, and there is no reason why we cannot engage. Even I live in maybe in a housing society or housing apartments. That is also a community. Community does not mean a rural village or a slum. Community means where we live. Why can't we apply many of these things in the area that we live? In maybe hospital campus, maybe in a housing apartments. So let us learn to apply these principles and learnings to communities where we live. That's what will make it more meaningful, and learning will be better. So with that, I'm happy to see that this thing has taken its course and has ended today. And I'm sure these relationships will continue. We'll build over these relationships over a period of time. And the seeds have been sown. Let us hope that the trees will grow. Even if people who have planted the trees like us are not there, but the tree will continue to grow and maybe go into an orchard or some point of time, or a forest some point of time. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. Back to you, Kaustubh.
Thank you so much, Professor Krishnan. Those are wonderful words, and thank you for offering your time. You have been an inspiration behind this course, and you continue to be. But for future courses, being a resource person and being a faculty member, being part of the discussion, that would be tremendously helpful and useful to all of us, including the future participants. It's our loss that we couldn't sort of engage you in the last couple of weeks, but I'm sure that we'll rectify it in the next course as well. As you have hoped, we also hope that this collaboration would continue, and we would be able to work with more and more researchers to be able to apply community-based participatory research methods in the field of environmental health. And as Dr. Tendon and Dr. Tiwari has mentioned, that it's a kind of not yet a kind of grown field, it's just budding, it's emerging. And therefore, a lot more investments are required to make this happen. And if we can continue this as a group, as a group of professionals, then nothing like that. It will be wonderful to work in future. So a couple of things, I think both Dr. Vishal and Mr. Amit would sort of continue to guide all of you on how to complete this course. What are the formalities that you need to do in terms of completing all your assignments, and then I guess a kind of certificate of completion will be issued to all of you. Unlike in a kind of face-to-face training program, we cannot hand over the certificate, but obviously it will be posted or sent through email once you have completed all the course, all the assignments. So I would encourage all of you to do this and complete all the assignments by end of this week, so that you can receive the certification. But as we had hoped that we'll continue to interact and to see that how the proposals that you prepare can be applied in one of the communities on one of the environmental health issues. With this, let me hand over this to Ms. Tanvi Trishna, Dr. Tanvi Trishna, who is a scientist in NIRE, for vote of thanks. Dr. Tanvi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Tanvi here. I am delighted to be a part of today's valedictory session, and that marks the ending of this online course, which was a maiden attempt at collaboration by two eminent institutes in India for capacity building in the field of environmental health and community-based participatory research. The last 4 weeks have been a memorable learning experience for all of us, and our participants, I'm sure, have been sensitized to the gravity of issues posed by environmental problems and multiple skills in the field of community-based participatory research. Developing, launching, and coordinating this course has required sincere efforts from numerous individuals, and I feel honored to be able to acknowledge and formally convey my gratitude to all those who have been involved in this course since its conception. I'm especially grateful to our three mentors, Dr. Tiwari, Director, ICMR NIRE, Dr. Anand Krishnan, Professor, Center for Community Medicine, AIIMS, Delhi, and Dr. Rajesh Tandon, Founder President, Priya, without whose insightful guidance this course would hardly have been possible. I'm also like to thank course director, Dr. Kaustav Kanti Bandopadhyay, and all course coordinators, including Dr. Vishal Diwan and Mr. Amit Bhatt, who have very beautifully coordinated this entire course. I would also like to appreciate the tremendous efforts taken and invested by the faculty members of both ICMR, NIRE, and Priya in developing, compiling, and curating the precise but informative contents of the course curriculum, as well as for interacting actively with the participants on various fora. I would be remiss if I failed to mention the constant support advanced by the computer and IT teams of both the institutions, as well as the numerous other technical and administrative staff of both the institutions. And last but not the least, I would like to convey my gratitude to all the participants who have shown their sincere interest in these very pertinent issues of environmental health and community engaged participatory research by actively participating and engaging in this course. Thank you, everyone. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tanvi. As Dr. Vishal has requested all of us to open our camera so that we can take a photographs. It's an evidence that we are here together. So if possible, can you just show your camera? I guess it would be difficult to take photographs of everyone because I can see the number of participants flow into the second page. But nevertheless, maybe we can take 2 photographs and then see what can be done. Who is going to take this screenshot? Amit, you or Dr. Vishal?
I can do that, sir. Yeah, if it's okay. I can do it for both pages, isn't it?
Okay, Amit, do that, please.
Yeah. So we'll start off with the first page.
And as a team, we can sit here. Because this is just अपना NIRE का team एक जगह रहे. Oh, Vishal, आप आ जाओ. So the entire NIRE team will be in one frame.
Okay.
And we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Great.
Great. Thank you.
So, Dr. Priya, Dr. Amelia, Devika, if you could open your camera. Sorry to put you spot.
Yeah, if you can, or otherwise we can go ahead with this. So, yeah, Dr. Krishna, Dr. Priya, Amelia, Devika, you want to open up your cameras to have the picture taken? Otherwise, we can go ahead with this. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Amelia.
Only thing is that the Nire other cameras are still on, so they're just so. We have not solved the problem by getting all the Nire people in one place. Those screens are shown as yeah. Unless we delete them, it won't help.
Maybe this one.
All right. Yeah. So say cheese. Thank you.
Take one more, Amit, please.
Yeah,
And could you also take this next page?
I'll do that. I'm just doing that. Here's another one. Thank you. I'll move on to the next page now.
I think it's done.
Thank you. That'll be all. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Please complete the assignment.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Sir? Hello? Sir, I had a query regarding one assignment.
Yeah, Dr. Pratik. Yeah. So,
For an assignment, I think case study number 4,
mhm.
On the reflection, they said there is question. Actually, there is no question to guide reflection. So we have to reflect on our own, or what? I was not able to find any questions. Like other case study, they had particular questions.
Okay. So for this one, I mean, it'll be your reflection. If there's no question
Okay,
there.
okay. Okay.
So your reflection on that.
Okay. Thank you.